Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you this morning. XRP price is climbing that mountain. It's staying strong, and we're going to talk about it. And then the FBI is stepping up its action against cybercrime. You know it's getting real. We hear from John Deaton with what I feel is a very important observation of where we are versus the government and the government wanting to keep control, power, and relevance when it comes to them and the central banks. The FedCoin. Could the FedCoin be XRP, or could the FedCoin and XRP, could the FedCoin be the alternative to XRP in the United States? Let's roll that beautiful intro and find out.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. 1.968 trillion for crypto market cap collectively. That's a big, big number. We're going to cross 2 trillion very soon. We'll keep an eye on it, and it will be history. It's history right now. That is incredible. We did hit 1.99 trillion last night overnight, but we'll see if we can get that 2 trillion mark over the next day or so. Who knows, maybe even later today. Looking at XRP price right now, Bitcoin almost at 60,000 again. XRP price right here at 63 cents, 0.6356, up 17.70%. That is a heck of a number. 17.70% at 63.56 this morning. That is remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. And with all of this, with the lawsuit hanging over top of our heads, very quickly, if you are a Kava token holder, please go vote. There is a vote that's open to get Kava 5 upgrade, and this is about having a truly decentralized platform, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a Kava holder, you have voting rights. This link will be in the description and the comment box for anybody holding Kava or wanting to hold Kava, so you can participate in the voting process. Get that information. Make sure you participate. That is amazing. All right, so besides the fact they have really incredible high yields, right? So make sure I'm going to learn how to do that. Now I'm going to make a little video on how we can all do it. All right, so there you go. Right now, ranging between 57 and 63 cents. Remember, I said that bottom number needs to be at least 57 cents for us to talk about that next point of resistance that we need to breach and break through, which looks like the 63 cent mark. And if we can get above that, then we have another, I think, hit at 67. We get through the 63 cent, 67 cent mark, and it's off to the races. We're chasing down $1, it looks like to us, and a lot of other technical analysts in the space as well. Crypto Bull 2020 reminding us we broke the 57. Looking to battle against 63. We get through that, and it's 75.80 cents, ladies and gentlemen. And if we hit $1, the FOMO will go crazy. Another one, Crypto Maniac, as well as many others in the space. And I'm showing you this in each of these videos because this is the window of time we need to pay attention to it. Price is relevant, charts are relevant, fundamentals are relevant. And you know what? All of this is happening while we're being sued by the SEC. Maybe we should get sued more often. Anyway, what we're looking at here, if this trend continues to build and XRP price continues to climb, you know, XRP attorney Seal asked a really great question. He said, imagine what the price of XRP would be right now if it was all relisted and moving as before the lawsuit. Imagine what the price it would be of XRP right now. Wow. I think that's a great question. So we're looking, according to many analysts as well as Crypto Maniac here, we could see a new all-time high by this summer, which is in just a couple months, right? So head on a swivel out here, folks, when it comes to price. Now, this is one and only Hall of Famer right here, Lee from SPQR Media Lee, who has a new channel called Wealth Code. And I got to tell you, you know, with the work he has done and everybody there on that team, which has been absolutely stellar, I would say that you need to go check out his channel on Wealth Code and everything that Lee is doing. I will be subscribing to the channel, and I suggest you do too. Shout out to you, my friend, and wishing you all the success in your new venture with Wealth Code, the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to that channel. And looky here. Well, you know it's getting real when the FBI wants to throw a little something on Twitter for cyber activists. actors are actively exploiting vulnerabilities to gain initial access to future attacks across key sectors. And you can bet your bottom dollar cryptocurrency is one of them. And they are watching. Look at that. Internet Crime Complaint Center. So if you've been frauded or damaged in any way by some kind of imposter or what have you, please make sure you take all the necessary steps to protect yourself. I know I've got PureVPN in my description box and comment section. It's one of the many layers of security I use to help hide my anonymity online. All right, now moving on. This is John Deaton here, and we're about to discuss after this the FedCoin and whether or not it could be XRP in the United States or be the backer of the FedCoin. We are going to get into it in just a second. John Deaton makes an important observation here. One of the sure signs that widespread adoption is nearing is the last-minute attempts to shut it down by governments holding on to their own corrupt, controlled legacy systems. And I just want to remind everybody of the SEC lawsuit against Ripple, which is obviously a frivolous lawsuit at this point. But nevertheless, I think it is an important observation that is happening in India as well. India is about to ban cryptocurrencies, I think probably for the 57th time, finding anyone trading in the country or even holding such assets. The bill, one of the world's strictest policies against cryptocurrencies, would criminalize any direct involvement with cryptocurrency. They have been on and off the fence with whether or not they're going to allow it. They're not going to allow it. I mean, it's like a bad tennis match over there. So we'll see what happens and we'll keep following it. But again, it reminds me of the case here with the SEC versus Ripple about XRP, because the reality is many people have said it, Brad Garlinghouse included, and we say it here on this channel. This case is much more than about Ripple. It's about the entire cryptocurrency digital asset space. We will keep an eye on what happens here, obviously. Okay, looking here, bullish news. Now, this is XRP attorney CEO again. Shout out to you, my friend. Bullish news for the haters. XRP is worth more today than before the SEC lawsuit. XRP price has gone up 170% since the start of the year, outpacing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Chainlink among the top 10 coins in the market cap. How about that one? Yeah, that's a good one. And I tell you something, all while we're dealing with a lawsuit. Again, to XRP attorney Seal's point, he had another post where he asked a question, imagine what the price would be if we weren't underneath of a lawsuit, and if we were if XRP was relisted on all the exchanges it was previously on. I mean, that is just a remarkable thought, isn't it? Okay, now let's get into this FedCoin XRP business. Judy Shelton posted just the other day, if we get to FedCoin becoming available, will it be seen as competitive payment currency to other options? Time to find out if people truly want a decentralized issuer with no discretionary powers versus merely more efficient payment approach. Then we had the article and the interview, with Julia Chatterley, where Brad said specifically, which I got accused for clickbait, but it was a direct quote from Brad Garlinghouse, had said that abandoning XRP and replacing it with an alternative could certainly be a part of the solution in the United States when asked about contingency plans from Julia Chatterley. Then we got this reminder from XRP Darren, Fame21 Darren Moore. If you don't follow him, you should, and you should follow him on his YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe and watch everything. This is a little outtake from this PDF file from R3, which came out in 2016. Now, we've covered this document a handful of times on the channel. If you're an OG and a veteran in this space, you know well in advance how long this document's been around, since 2016. But nevertheless, we're going to get into it because, when you put these things up against where we are today and start looking at the PDFs and the work that's been done previous years and what it looks like against what we know today, well, it could become quite a different conversation. This is page 9 of that document, which was highlighted by Darren Moore. Thank you, Darren. And I think it is a nice time to come back and revisit this. It talks about, and it does comparatively, examine whether Bitcoin could work as a complement to the FedCoin and or some other token, right? And then this is page 9 where it discusses XRP. I'm going to start at the top where it's highlighted right here. If the public wants less FedCoin, the process works in reverse. The central bank simply redeems unwanted tokens and issues banknotes in their place. The protocol would allow the central bank to destroy unwanted coins, much like it shreds old currency. Now listen to this. An alternative way to create FedCoin would be to pre-allocate the entire supply of tokens, say 100 trillion FedCoin. This block would immediately be awarded to the central bank to be held in reserve until they are required. Ripple set the precedent for a 100% pre-allocation, for which people say didn't happen, but it did. At its inception, the entire 100 billion supply of XRP, Ripple's native token, was created outright. Much of it is retained by Ripple Labs, while the rest was auctioned off or given away. As for a reduction in supply, the central bank can store surplus crypto coins in its vault, much as it does with deposited banknotes that are still fit for a second go-around. Pre-allocating simplifies security requirements. You think one would recognize that in the SEC case that we've talked about many, many times. If you're not aware, basically the point being is that OpenCoin was established well before Ripple, the company, was established, and OpenCoin is where XRP was gifted to the company Ripple Labs, right? So it was not an ICO. As no one has the ability to issue Fed coins, however, it is exceedingly difficult to change supply later if demand is underestimated. So they're saying with a fixed supply, you may run into a situation where you have to do a 2.0 of the 1.0, right? A new coin, say FedCoin 2.0, would have to be issued in order to complement the exhausted supply of FedCoin 1.0. It goes on to say, how does the central bank put those coins into the economy? Now listen to this, because we've talked about the idea and notion that the MasterCards and the Visas could be like catch-all buckets for the paper-denominated cash, and just as banks can be the catch-all bucket. And as the paper cash comes into deposits, they can roll that out as a digital credit and a digital token that would be in your digital wallet, and yada, 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 everybody back to work. Now, this could work on the same level if we're talking about retail consumer, or if we're talking about wholesale back end as well. So how does the central bank put those coins into the economy? It swaps FedCoin notes on demand at a fixed rate by using a cash-in, cash-out mechanism for introducing FedCoin. A central bank ensures that the combined quantity of banknotes and FedCoin remains unaffected, and only the relative contribution of each one of the total changes. As Andolfo, who is an economist, describes it, this setup means that FedCoin functions like just another currency denomination. For example, if the Federal Reserve were to introduce a $200 bill, it would set a 2-to-1 peg between the $100 bill, a 4-to-1 peg between the $50 bill, and so on, right? 200-to-1 peg to the $1 bill. Should demand for converting $100 bills into $200 bills explode, the central bank can effortlessly maintain the peg by having as many $200 bills printed as necessary to satisfy demand, while shredding $100 bills as they pour into the Fed vaults. Likewise, under a FedCoin scenario, the Federal Reserve would establish a 1-to-1 peg to the dollar and a 1-to-100 peg to the $100, these exchange rates being unassailable since the Federal Reserve can mint or cancel any quantity of FedCoin. All right, and it goes on to say, nor would there be any reason to worry about the effect of either the $200 bill or FedCoin on monetary policy. A central bank's denomination structure, the spacing it chooses to set between its various denominations of banknotes, is irrelevant to the maintenance of an inflation target. Thus, we arrive at a stable crypto coin without compromising the central bank's ability to follow an independent monetary policy. So it sounds like to me, if I, understand what I've read right, and I think that I have here, is the suggestion that XRP could be really taken like the escrow and really dedicated to the Fed, or basically the Fed could become the steward of the escrow and therefore issue and reclaim either a stable coin off of the XRP, or they could choose to just call XRP the Fed coin, however they choose to do it. But I would think they would use XRP to back the Fed coin, and they hold that in reserves to back it, right? And then issue this digital Fed coin off of that. That seems to me to be what they're talking about here. Now, with that in mind, we don't know what they'll do. This is from 2016, but this is R3 Reports, Fed coin, a central bank issued cryptocurrency, JP Koenig, and this is right here, just to show you the date here, November 15, 2016. They have been discussing this idea for a very, very long time. However, you can see from the writing here in the manner that they've described, duplicating what Ripple has done for the Fed, and then coming to the point that, Brad Garlinghouse did say that they have, really talked about, the idea of that abandoning XRP and replacing with an alternative could certainly be a part of the solution in the United States. When asked about contingency plans, one has to wonder if the Fed coin itself could be that contingency plan. We don't know. We're speculating, but I think it's good to revisit these things to try to understand, or at least create a conversation where we can all start to kick around what maybe works about it and what actually doesn't, based on what we know today. One thing I do want to wrap with here is when I had attorney XRP Seal and Jeremy Hogan from Hogan & Hogan on the show here, and we talked and went over the idea that if the federal government wants the escrow, they will have it. And you don't believe me when I say it, but you might want to believe Jeremy Hogan when he says it. Let's listen to the gentleman talk here.
It makes you wonder if it's just a delay tactic to sort of, for something greater. So, again, it is all speculation, but certainly as a lawyer, I mean, we just try to make our best sense of things. And sometimes when things piece together nicely, I mean, they make a good argument to hang your hat on, right, Jeremy?
Absolutely. Well, what Seal just said is, I'm not one to rain on a good speculation parade, so I'm going to go with you guys here. So here's my take on it. So if the U.S. government wants the escrowed XRP, it will have it. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think most U.S. citizens that aren't involved in law in any great detail don't realize how exposed we are to our government. There's only two things that separates that XRP, if the government wants it, from Ripple and the government. One, there's your vote, because if people think that you're going to, they're going to lose their vote and get kicked out of office if they do something, they won't do it. And two, there's the U.S. Constitution. And the U.S. Constitution provides some protections for something like this, and that's what Seal was referring to. I think on Twitter he was talking about eminent domain, which is I think that's the 8th Amendment.
Under the Fifth Amendment, it's the takings clause under the Fifth. Yeah, it's under the Fifth, I think. Okay. Yeah, the Fifth. It's the takings clause, I think.
Okay, I'm getting kind of old, so memory's going. But,
we all are.
So that's part of the Constitution, but really the protection in the Constitution would be the 14th, which is kind of is equal protection. So, you're taking Ripple's XRP, but you're not taking other people's cryptocurrencies. And so that would be your argument. But all the government has to do in that situation, and if you go to Seal, remember law school, we got the rational basis test, and we have strict scrutiny. As soon as I passed the bar, I tried to forget it, but it's just stuck in my head. So this would be probably a rational basis test. So all the government would have to do is come up with a rational basis why the XRP was necessary or required for some nice government function, and it's gone. That's what they did with the, what do they call them? I think I wrote it down here. Was it SIFMU? What's that stand for, Brad?
The SIFMU, the Systemically Important Financial Market Utility or Market Infrastructure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough for them to say, well, this is a matter of important government financial policy, and therefore we're going to be taking your XRP from the ledger. And I also know it's on the escrow and it's time released, and that's fine because the government can come in like the doctor when the baby's born, grab it and take it. So
see you again next month, right?
Yeah, and next month, and next month, and next month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going out of sight of the government. Now the SEC cannot. So remember this. So the SEC only has regulation over sales. So when that XRP is released from escrow, if Ripple doesn't sell it, it's outside of the SEC's jurisdiction. So I don't know what else they would do with it, but they're only regulating the sales. So keep that in mind. So I don't know if there's some kind of it's a technical issue or technological issue, whether that has to be sold. I think it might have to be sold really to fund Ripple's business. But if that's not the case, I don't think in this lawsuit that the SEC is going to be able to get in there and take the escrowed XRP.
And I completely agree with him. And to that point, the SEC is a market regulator where we're talking about FSOC, however, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, which is a regulatory body connected to the Treasury, is a prudential regulator. And they do have the power to come in and do what we talked about and declare something systemically important to the financial market infrastructure or to the financial system, globally and domestic. And voila, that is that. So, we don't know that that'll happen, but we know that that is a path that could be taken. And we can't take that idea or notion off the table until we can completely dismiss it. And I find it absolutely fascinating that this far into the game, 4+ years into the game, and we still can't dismiss it. That's the thing that just fascinates me about all of this. And the idea that, hey, we don't know. And like Darren Moore, got us thinking again here this morning, might we see the FedCoin be introduced, and would we see some kind of public-private collaboration, for which Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve is now on board with a public-private relationship? And might that be a relationship with Ripple and XRP? I don't know, but that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Make sure you share with somebody you know and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. CryptoTaxAudit.com. If you need to get your taxes done, if you need to find out, he has a program that is so affordable. I trust to tell you this much. It is a lot cheaper than being audited. Okay, I think it's like $30, $35 a month or something. And it's audit protection and a whole bunch of other tools for you for taxes and crypto. So make sure you check that out. And all the other links in the description and comment box, they are trusted, vetted links. I'll catch all of you on the next one.